Hello, and today on Cars at 100 we're gonna look at the Honda Accord Sport 2.0 Turbo. So let's look at this car from the outside, go inside and look at the window sticker, and let's go ahead. As you can see, the design of this car pretty sharp, and these lights, LED daytime running lights and full-time running lights, are really nice looking on this car. These wheels, cool design on these wheels, look like a ninja throw kind of design, metallic design on it with the black accents. Really something that stands out in a crowd, and when this car drives by, you know that it's Honda Accord Sport. Really cool. These wheels also come with regular Honda Accord Sport, not just a 2.0 turbo, but this car is more special in terms of the engine, having almost the same engine as the Civic Type R, but a little bit underrated with having different internals. But those who like the tune cars will have a really nice time tuning this engine, and I think Honda is gonna be able to tune this engine to more than 300 horsepower. But overall, as you can see, design is something that really stands out, and this front grille, in terms of this Honda logo integration and everything, looks mean, and at the same time looks very nice, different compared to other automakers on the road. Whole design is very specific for this car. You can't really compare this car to any other vehicle on the road. Really, it is something that is unique, and at the same time looks really sharp. And these wheels really round the design of this car very nicely. And as you can see here, the design of these badges, 2.0 Turbo Sport, that distinguishes you from the other regular sport Accords on the road. That's the only distinction you will see on these Accords compared to regular. I wanted to also talk about the wheels in a little more detail in terms of the tire. So these tires are Michelin tire, and they are 235/40 R19 tire. Nice design overall. Once again, let's check out this car on the inside. In order to enter this car, as you can see, you have a very nice Honda key fob. You have lock unlock, automatic start, remote start, and hold for trunk release, hold for panic button here as well. You have a physical key inside by this latch, but overall really nice key, really good design, and there's somewhat weight to it to distinguish it from the regular keys on the market. But you also can lock the car by this grooved edge here, and unlock it by the sensor behind the door opener handle. And just like this, you will enter this Honda Accord Sport 2.0 Turbo. And as you can see here, these leatherette materials and this trim looks something that kind of distinguishes this from the regular Accords on the model range. You have automatic up and down for only front passenger and the driver. Keys feel somewhat premium, they don't feel cheap. Door opener handle, trunk release button here, speaker housing, tweeters up top, soft touch materials here, hard plastic, soft touch, hard plastic. As we go around, these seats really nice, somewhat bolstering below, lots of bolstering up top, not too much but not too little at the same time. As you can see, here are the adjustments for the seats, pedals, hood release, steering wheel, And as you can see, the entrance to this car is pretty big. It's not a small vehicle. Overall, let's check out this car on the inside. Very nice feel when you close the door. Feels premium, but you could feel the sense of kind of economy car here and there. But overall, it's good to see this type of blend in this type of car. As you can see, as we start the car, this left display, and this is analog, so it kind of combines analog and digital at the same time. So speedo here will always be here, but this display you can control with many different options in terms of the controls. So there are different options to control that screen, and overall you have different options on the steering wheel here to control that display. If we go to different options like the controls, like here, you can go through different options like maintenance, driver attention, driver support, and you have many different information, many different ways that the car gives you information to the driver overall. And as you can see here as well, you have the audio controls, and you have different options for tachometer, range, fuel, and everything in between. Overall, it is something that is going to be very useful. In the middle, you have a very nice display, small display for the miles, and you have a speed limiter there up top as well. So this is also a display. Overall, this is whole display, but it's kind of separate. It feels like that it's separate. Reminds me a little bit of the European automaker like Audi, that has the same kind of layout for these displays, and these in front of you, the way you can interact with them and how they look in terms of the font somewhat as well. In terms of the steering wheel here, very good design, I would say. Paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, as you can see here, somewhat bolstered design on this steering wheel, leather wrapped, and these paddles, they don't feel particularly very good, but they are not aluminum or anything. They feel a little bit cheap, but it feels like this car will last a long time, and that's how I justify a plasticky feel in cars. And overall, you have good design here, Honda logo in the middle, cruise control options here, adaptive cruise control that you have on this car, and overall you have somewhat good options in terms of the controls on the steering wheel, in terms of the media as well, and the Bluetooth. Coming to the middle of this car, in terms of the interior, you see here a very good trim that goes around the dash and the cabin of the car around, and you have somewhat interesting climate controls here. I would say good climate controls, nice display here, and you have different options to control the climate, as it being automatic climate control. You also have options like a regular car, but you also have a heated seats here integrated nicely, and this particular buttons feel nice. Overall, this reminds me of an Audi brand, I would say, in terms of the controls and how everything clicks. It is really nice in terms of the design as well. Very well integrated here in this middle console. Speaking of this infotainment screen, tablet looking infotainment screen, you have very good connectivity and precision in terms of the clicking on the buttons, and the buttons don't feel too small and they don't feel too big. It feels like this has been improved much more compared to other Accords in the past, and the knobs. So these knobs were really in demand in the past, and Honda delivered those knobs back. And you have a very nice engine start-stop button here as well. Speaking of this middle console here, you have controls here to manipulate the transmission. Like I reviewed on other Honda products and models, you have very interesting way to manipulate the transmission. So when you press down D, you have a drive here, you have a neutral here, you have a reverse clicking down, and you have a parking. So everything lights up with lights, as you can see here. And when you go to reverse, you have very nice camera here with trajectory, as well as the beeping signal for the assistance in terms of the rear traffic alert. Really useful, and you can manipulate camera differently, so that's very useful as well. But overall, you have parking options here, automatic parking brake here. You have two options here, particularly interesting in terms of the usage of this car. You can put it in economy mode or sport mode. You also have a brake hold, which is interesting in this type of vehicle. I'm not seeing on the sedans brake hold. Usually I see it on minivans or SUVs, but it's a very useful feature. You don't have to you don't have to keep your feet on the brake when you're on the traffic light. You can just click this, and when you brake once, you can let go and the car will hold the brake. That's very convenient. You have storage here, and in this storage you have two options here to connect the USB and connect 12-volt power outlet here as well. You have rubbery feel on these options here in terms of this middle console. You can also put this here to have this different tray, top tray and bottom tray. Overall, I would say it's a very interesting feel in this car. You sit a little bit lower. You also have here console with one more 12-volt power outlet and one more USB that you can connect your phone as a media and charge your phone as well. I also have a window sticker here for you to check out. As you can see, this window sticker includes every option that comes with this car. You can pause the video at any second to go over those options and see what exactly this car comes with. And as you can see, total vehicle price in this review is $31,630 and 26 miles per gallon, with 22 in the city, 32 on the highway. In terms of the back seats, you don't have any speakers on the door cards in the back. And as we jump inside, plenty of legroom here and plenty of headroom here as well. I'm 6 feet tall, and I would say that this is comfortable seating position for the back of this Honda Accord Sport 2.0 Turbo. Overall, you have this middle handrest with two cup holders here as well, and two vents here as well. Let's check out the trunk space.